Hey world, YouTube world, I'm back, and today is June 5th of 2020. Yeah, wow. Oof, a lot's happened. So I guess I'll start by saying I wish heroin was never a thing. Like, I wish it was never invented. And I wish it was easier for people to get off of. I wish that it wasn't going to be a struggle for the rest of their lives. And I just want to be like really raw and real right now, because yesterday was a traumatic day for my family. Basically, my sister is alive, so that's a positive. But she did a lot to try to not be alive, I should say. She doesn't want to be alive anymore. She's been saying that for a while. I don't know if she means it or she's just saying it because she's so caught in like a drug that she can't get off of, or feels like she can't get off of. I'm unsure, but like I haven't no idea how she feels really, other than what she says. I haven't talked to her in a while. Her and I got into a fight, so that's kind of why I've been silent on here, because I've just been processing through my own feelings and emotions about everything, and it's been hard for me, as I'm sure it's been harder for her. I don't want to like downplay her sadness or what she's going through by any means, but I'm mostly on here to talk about like what addiction does to families. So I feel like my family is really broken. It doesn't have so much to do with her personally as it does have to do with her using heroin, because if there were no heroin, we wouldn't be so broken. But she almost died yesterday as an attempt to die, because she feels so distraught with life, and life is hard for her. You know, getting the phone call from my mom being like, hey, you know, crying, bawling, actually. She was looking away. I haven't seen her look since her mom died. And my grandma. And she just was saying, like, get here now. You know, your sister's overdosed and dad found her and you need to get here now. We're unsure if she's gonna make it, or if they didn't think she was alive at that point, or maybe she wasn't breathing or something. But the ambulance took her. I rushed to my mom's. My brother was there. My family was there. We were all together, waiting, you know, just waiting to hear what was going to happen. Unfortunately, these are the times of coronavirus, so nobody could be at the hospital. Nobody could go to the hospital. And because she was unconscious, because of HIPAA laws, we couldn't really find out too much information until she gained consciousness to tell them that they can talk to us or tell us. I called multiple times last night waiting for her to allow us to know some information, but that never happened. At 5 o'clock this morning, my mom called the hospital and they told her that they were discharging her. So from like 5 p.m. yesterday until the last time I called was like 11 something, she was unstable and unconscious. And from some point after that, she gained consciousness, and the doctors thought it would be best to let her go home. That's what I want to talk about. Like drug addiction, I don't feel is really taken that seriously, because I don't understand why they would just let her go home, why they didn't do more. I mean, for hours, my family sat there thinking she was dead. Thinking, wow, we don't even get to go there and say goodbye. Or, wow, we have so many unresolved feelings with her and we don't get to make them right. Or, wow, we're never going to see her again, you know? We thought that. Like, those are true feelings in our hearts. We felt, we did not think for another second that she was going to be alive today. We didn't. And it was the most painful hours of my life. I cried the whole way there. I thought, oh no, you know, she's gone. And she's not. And I'm so thankful. I am so thankful for that. But also I'm so just fucking over this. I want her to get help. I want her to go to rehab. I want this nightmare to end. I want it to be over. I don't want another second of pain and torture for my family, my mother, you know. I want like closure. I want all of it to just be over. Be over. And if you're not in my shoes, you'll never fucking understand what I'm saying. You'll never understand the ache and the pain and the torture and all of the things that addiction does to a family. You'll never understand the look on my mother's face. You'll never understand what my father has to be going through right now, thinking, looking, remembering what she looked like. You know? You never understand that unless you've been there. Unless you looked your dad in the eyes and you've seen that he's hurting so freaking badly, but he has to remain strong and remain positive because somebody has to be the rock for all of us, and it just so happens to be him. You'll never understand looking into my brother's beautiful blue eyes and seeing his heart break over and over and over. Because his sister is not well. And at this point in our lives, maybe she just doesn't even care anymore. Maybe she doesn't care about us. Maybe she doesn't care about life. Maybe she doesn't care about anything or anyone. And maybe that's true. That probably is true. Minus heroin. Addiction is destroying my family. Addiction is hurting my family. Addiction sucks. I wish she never found heroin. I wish she never found any drugs. I wish so freaking badly that my kids could have met my sister. But they never will. They never will. And she doesn't want to get clean. She doesn't want to. I think that's what hurts the most. Is that yesterday she died and today she's alive and still she won't go to rehab. Still she won't go to rehab. You don't know what it feels like to look at my niece and just know. Just know what she deserves and see her not get that. Or to look at my nephew and know that he may never get the chance to know his mom. It's just, it really hurts. I just hope if you're an addict out there and you're watching this, that you know that your family probably really, really loves you. And that all they probably want out of life is for you to get better. And you should know that. Even if they don't say it, because I don't say it anymore, it doesn't mean that I don't want her better. I would do everything in my power to have her better. I would give my life if that meant that she would live a fulfilled life right now. I really would, because I've lived a life, you know. I want so much for her, and I think that makes me angry too. Angry that she doesn't want so much for herself. Angry that she doesn't care for herself or love herself. Angry for my parents that they're going through this nightmare. Angry for so many things. I'm angry. And you can tell me that I don't have the right to be angry, or I shouldn't be angry, or shouldn't hold on to anger, or I should do forgiveness, or any of the things, but you don't know my personal struggle. You might see a little bit of it on here, or a little bit of it if I'm willing to tell you, or a little glimpse of the disaster that's been my life for the last 13 years. I wish so badly that my sister would have gone to rehab after this. At first, I didn't think she was going to live, so I didn't really think much outside of that. I mean, I thought she was dead, so the feelings of thinking she was dead were really hard and painful. You don't know, really, you know? You think like, oh my God, is this the end of it? This is how it ends? This is what it looks like? This is the final phase without her? Never gonna see her or touch her or hug her or hold her, even though her body was frail and skinny. Never going to tell her you love her or that you're sorry, because you are sorry, but you just want to stay strong because you're also angry and upset. Never going to see her kids graduate or hug her baby one more time, so that, you know, never tell my niece she loves her, or good night, or good morning, or good job, or, you know, all those thoughts were going through my head yesterday, and I couldn't make them go away. I sat with my mom and brother outside, and, you know, our significant others, and my sister, and we just like sat there like, what the hell is this? You know, my mom was so broken. So broken. Killed me looking at her like that. Killed me. Just. And then to find out that she's home. They discharged her. And she's home. No 72-hour hold, no 10-day hold, no nothing. No nothing for her. Just a slap on the wrist and a goodbye. How do you go from dead to home? How do you go from dead to home? Why is the system failing heroin addicts? Why is the system letting this happen? Like, and then you wonder why addicts don't get sober. This is why. They just let them. They let them go home after almost dying. They let them leave. They let them walk out with zero to no consequences. There should be some sort of a rule or a law that if you overdose, you have to stay in the hospital for 30 days. Yeah, you don't want to feed and clothe them, but who cares? It's a life. Instead, you let her go and you hope, or you just think, oh, who cares? You know, she'll be back. She'll overdose and she'll be back, and maybe she'll eventually die, and then this won't be our problem anymore. You're right, it won't be your problem anymore, but it'll be the family's problem. It'll be The kids who no longer have a mother's problem for the rest of their lives, or father, or whoever your family member is that's on drugs. You fill in the blanks for your own family. But the system fails addiction. The system fails people with addiction. The system fails everybody. If you're a drug addict and, the system's failed you, I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry. And I know at some point you say they have to want it, right? Because I thought that all the time. Like, oh, they have to want it. They have to want it. They have to want it. But maybe if they just took that time after an overdose and they were forced to stay in the hospital and they had that clean time and they had that thought of clarity, or like 30 days on their belt of sobriety, and they had a little bit more thought, maybe more addicts would stay sober. And if they didn't, then yeah, you're right, they do want to die. But maybe they just need that time to think in their heads, I do want to be sober. I do want to make changes. I do. But I don't have the strength, because she doesn't have the strength. I factually know that. She doesn't have the strength to beat her addiction. She's strong. She's strong. She's overcome a lot, a lot more than I could ever even tell you, because that's her personal business. But she is very strong. But it's up here, Heroin, meth, crack, whatever drug the person that you love is on, it overtakes your body and mind and soul. And it makes you want it and need it. And until you realize that there is a world outside of drugs that's also just as good as the world that you think you're on drugs, you'll never change, I guess. But she knows, because she's had bits of sobriety. Right now, she needs something. She needs something big to happen, something huge to happen to make her change her ways. I truly feel that way. And right now, nothing big is happening. This big thing that happened yesterday, this draining, huge, exhausting, stressful event that happened yesterday is now over for her. But it's not over for us. That pain, that hurt, that bitterness, that all of those feelings that were locked inside yesterday that we sat around and thought, oh no, she's dead over, those are still there for us. We still feel that. I woke up this morning feeling that. I woke up this morning feeling anxious and angry and just waiting to hear what is happening. To call and find out that they just released her as soon as she gained consciousness. If she can walk, she can go. That's what they said. If she can walk, she can go. But she spent hours unconscious. Hours.
Mom.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So, that's my tidbit for today. Sorry for my baby. And if you're suffering with addiction, I hope you get help. If you have a loving family, I hope you get help. If you have everything that you can want in life, kids, a home, I hope you get help. If you don't have any of those things, I hope you get help. I hope you know people out there love you. People that you probably don't know love you. Everybody deserves a second chance or a third chance or as many chances as you need. Everybody deserves chances. And if you're a family member, if you're like me or my family or my mom or my dad or my siblings, or I should say dads, or like if you're any of those things and you're on the other end of addiction like I am, and you're hurt and you're angry, I'm here for you. And I hope you know you could always reach out to me. And I'm willing to be support for you also. We all need a little support. I hope that you guys have a great day. And, you know, as always, fuck heroin.